investigation going?
Wir sind die Repräsentanten von Linne und Lynette.
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cowell. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him.
Wie haben sie die geschafft, da einen Kreideumriss zu zeichnen, wenn da überall Wasser ist?
The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it.
Warum war Cowell in dem Schrank?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
Ja, aber du hast ja keinen Grund momentan, ihn. Ich meine, es gibt ja momentan keinen Hinweis darauf, warum er ihn überhaupt umbringen sollte.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Ja, eben.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
Wasserfeste Kreide. Gibt's das? Mich stört immer noch die Kreide unterm Wasser. Nicht immer der Fall. Im Wasser. Ich muss sagen, als Menschen könnte ja auch der zuverlässigste Beweis sein.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Über die Fallakten lassen sich der aktuelle Stand der Beweise und Hinweissammlung überprüfen und Informationen im Fall zusammenstellen. Oh, in der Fallakte kannst du noch nicht aufgedeckte Beweise und Hinweise prüfen und ihnen dann in entsprechenden Gebieten nachgehen. Fertigkeit Spürsinn kannst du innerhalb eines bestimmten Bereichs um dich herum Beweise und Hinweise entdecken, die du untersuchen kannst, um Gesamtfortschritt voranzutreiben. Ermittlungsbericht der Gendarmerie. Der Ermittlung der Gendarmerie zufolge entzündete die vor dem Ende der Zaubershow angezündete Feuerwerkskörper das Seil, an dem der Wassertank befestigt war, durch diesen herunterfiel und Cowells Tod verursachte. Lenny scheint die Requisiten am ehesten. Warum muss ich jetzt scannen, Alter? Wenn ich zu viel lesen muss, fange ich automatisch Scannen an. Lenny scheint die Requisiten am ehesten als Mordwaffe einsetzen zu können, aber warum war Cowell der Verstorbene? Warum ist das aus dem Publikum ausgewählte Mädchen verschwunden? Diese Fragen bleiben ungeklärt. Informationen über die Identität des Verstorbenen. Der verstorbene Cowell war einer der Assistenten in Lynnes Zaubertruppe. Zu Lebzeiten genoss er das Vertrauen der anderen Truppenmitglieder. Seine Arbeit bestand darin, die Requisiten aufzustellen und zu kontrollieren und auf der Bühne dafür zu sorgen, dass Atmosphäre und Aufführung zusammenpassen. Mich stört immer noch die scheiß Kreide im Wasser. Cowell damals nicht in den Schrank gewesen wäre, wäre er möglicherweise dem Unfall entgangen. Aber ich muss zugeben, es ist schon grob fahrlässig, so eine fette Box an so einem kleinen Stein zu hängen. Auch wenn das wahrscheinlich am Ende nicht war, es ist sehr fahrlässig, das so zu machen. Da gehört eine Kette hin. Ich meine hier noch eine fette Metallkiste mit massig Wasser drin, Alter, und hängst an einem dünnes Seil. Also selbst wenn das nicht war, jetzt ist er schuldig für mich. Er hat die Sicherheitsvorschriften, die auf der Karte standen, nicht beachtet. Was ist denn da los? Ach, jetzt dachte ich, da sitzt noch wer. Ach, die werden alle befragt.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Ja, schau dir das dünne Seil an, Alter. Was ist da los?
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Das Sicherheitsproblem, das es Darsteller nicht erkannt?
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
Wie soll er das untersuchen, Alter? Schau mir die Stelle an, wo das Seil ist.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Sieht aus wie Zunder.
So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then wait! Paimon should write all this down. Let's take notes.
Besonderes Seil. Das Seil ist an den Wassertank hinken, es riss plötzlich, als auf der Bühne das Feuerwerk gezündet wurde. Die Untersuchung ergab, dass für den Riss des Seils ein brennbares Material verwendet worden sein muss. Ah, okay, ich kann so anzeigen lassen. Beschädigter Zauberschrank. Zurückgelassen, nachdem die Gendarmerie den Tatort untersucht hatte. Wenn ich ihn mir jetzt ansehe, muss der Wassertank ihn sehr schwer getroffen haben. Wo wurde das eigentlich hochgezogen? Da ist ja nicht mal was. Ein Seil, das in der Luft hing, oder was? Das ist wie bei Spider-Man-Games.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Danke, wir stören nicht weiter.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Nummernwähler. Maschine wird dazu verwendet, bla bla bla. Wissen wir ja gerade gehört, wurde manipuliert.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Wir sind die Repräsentanten.
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
Das halt komplett jede Ernsthaftigkeit einfach rausnimmt.
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Danke, dass du uns das mitgeteilt hast.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
Nein, dann entführen wir sie.
It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Vermisste heißt Halsey und ist eine relativ bekannte Malerin. Sie kam zur Zauberschau, bla, okay. ich irgendwie noch oben auf? Oh, ich komme hier nicht mal raus. Ah, die andere Box, oder? Sieht wie ein gewöhnlicher Schrank aus, aber Lenny hat es geschafft, sich während der Schau im Nu von der Bühne in das Innere zu bewegen. Wie hat er das gemacht? Isildur.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
In diesem Fall wäre der Wassertank sicher ins Schwingen geraten.
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
Alter Junge, die konnte das Seil nicht mal durchschneiden, es war angebrannt.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Okay. Ja, im Menü hat es auch auf. Da sind die anderen. Das werden jetzt die letzten sein. Molly.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Komme ich irgendwie hinaus? Ach scheiße, ich versuche immer Yellans Ding zu benutzen. Ah, da rennen die anderen rum.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Ich glaube, ich weiß nicht, ob ich finde ihre Stimme, glaube ich, nicht so gut zu ihr.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and
Yeah,
pursue
wobei.
the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Ich mag kein Spinat.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Willst du auch den Fall untersuchen?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Du hast recht.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
Nicht immer.
And why would that be?
Dadurch wird die Wahrheit leichter beiseite gewischt, denn etwas ernst wie ein Prozess sollte nicht wie Unterhaltung behandelt werden.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Du verkennst das Wesentliche, Palmer.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks. Thanks!
Also im Aussehen, vom Style her, top. Ich mag ihre Stimme nicht. Ich wünschte mir, sie wäre erwachsener. So wirkt sie halt wie eine verzogene Göre. Keine Ahnung, aber ich glaube, das habe ich vorher. Habe ich das nicht vorher schon mal gesagt? Eher erwachsener wie in Richtung wie Jean halt oder sonst irgendwas. Aber so wirkt sie halt einfach so, ja. Wie eine verwöhnte Göre. Schade. Ich würde wahrscheinlich trotzdem für sie ziehen, aber die Stimme enttäuscht mich.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case.
Na, wir als Begleiter sehen ja aus, wie wenn sie von der Mafia wären. Das sowieso.
Were you always guarding this entrance?
Auch so eine Stimme so. Oh.
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
Und während der Show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it. Let alone we Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info.
Ein- und Ausgänge sind verschlossen. Oder kommt da nicht raus?
We've checked everything of
Huh?
note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Was ich ja momentan, ich meine, die Story an sich ist bisher ganz cool. Und ich weiß, dass auch viele Jüngere das spielen. Aber ich finde dieses ganze Witzige irgendwie fehl am Platz, muss ich zugeben. Paimon ist cool mit der Brille. Das ist schon mal cool. Aber Alter, da ist jemand verreckt, Alter. Der wurde von einem verdammten Tank zerquetscht. Und hier so, oh ja, schauen wir mal nach, was da los ist. Vielleicht finden wir doch ein paar Leichen da drüben. Oh, schaut's euch an. Ach, die sind ja lustig mit der ganzen roten Farbe und so. Ich finde, da fehlt die Ernsthaftigkeit. Ich weiß, das Spiel ist jetzt nicht dafür bekannt, dass es total ernst ist oder so. Aber das ist schon irgendwie hart, Alter. Ich meine, vor allem er wirkt halt auch nicht so, wie wenn, oh ja, einer meiner Kollegen ist verreckt. Passt schon.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
Ist da ein Gang unten drunter
But
zum...
before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Dann konnten Detektiv Yuma und Shinigami lösen den Fall. Die wären dafür besser geeignet.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
Die Rückseite der Tür ist anders.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
In dem Schrank ist noch ein Schrank.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
passageway under the magic box.
Die beiden Stränge sind dadurch miteinander verbunden.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The two magic boxes are positioned right above the two entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
Ah, ich wollte gerade sagen, hey, du kannst doch nicht einfach der Zuschauerin sagen, geh mal da mit, die verrät doch das.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Und was ist deine Seite des Tricks?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
Okay, das hatte ich wenigstens schon im Kopf, Alter, dass man das einfach über Ding nehmen machen kann.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Nein, überhaupt nicht, Alter. Ich meine, sie hat verdammte Katzenohren.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Ich hab wirklich an alles gedacht.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would.
Ist dann komplett, wenn der Wassertank den Typen im Ding im Schrank zerplatzen lässt.
But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Funktionsweise des Zaubertricks. Struktur des Zauberschranks, Struktur des Zauberschranks. Alter! Das muss das Steuergerät für den Rollwagen sein. Es scheint automatisch zu funktionieren. Die Leiter? Was das für fette Leitern sind, Alter. Um vom Tunnelausdruck zum Zauberschrank zu gelangen, ist eine Leiter erforderlich. Ah, ist das, damit er runterklettern kann? Was ist das?
What's this?
Ein Hinterhaken.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Das hat Linne gerade nicht erwähnt.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Komischer Haken. Warum ist hier eigentlich alles voller Wasser? Die Vase untersuchen. Ups.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Es hat geregnet. Wahrscheinlich eine weitere Zauberrequisite.
Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Zerbrochene Vase.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Nichts davon, dass man hier irgendwo Kleidung wechseln müsste.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Paimon, ernsthaft jetzt? Hast du das schon die ganze Zeit gehabt oder habe ich dich direkt bemerkt?
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Wann zur Hölle hat sie diese Kringel gekriegt? Habe ich das nicht gemerkt die ganze Zeit? Bin ich jetzt blöd? Maß und Präzision. Die Schienen hätten verwendet werden können, um den Rollwagen auf festgelegte Strecke zu halten. Darin sind alle Arten von Zauberrequisiten und Kostüme wahllos verstaut. Das ist das Schlüsselwerkzeug, mit dem der Zauberstank transportiert wurde. Der Täter hat genau das benutzt, um seinen Plan auszuführen.
What is this place?
Sieht aus wie eine Lüftungsöffnung.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Ein Mensch könnte durchpassen? Du könntest da 6 Menschen reinstopfen und die würden immer noch durchpassen. Alter, das Ding ist so groß wie... keine Ahnung.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Da könnte ein Mensch durchpassen. Es ist nur 10 Meter groß.
Alone, perhaps.
Was?
But if they had to pull another person with them,
Er könnte sich da...
space would be too narrow.
Er könnte sich da reinknien und würde nicht mal mit dem Kopf anstoßen.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Doch die Zauberstänge können auch als Ausgänge benutzt werden. Linne und Lynette waren jeweils an den beiden Zauberstängen.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Okay, sie hat mittendrin gewechselt, Alter. Böse Paimon.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Wie komme ich wieder hoch? Da? Ah. Stimmt, oben kommt man nicht mehr raus.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Ja, das stimmt.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
Die Oratrice auch?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Erstaunlich.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Jetzt ist auch durch die Zeit, um wählerisch zu sein.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Hmm? What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Hä?
Huh? Here? But how?
Haben wir hier eine Küche?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Hä? Alles klar, wir machen jetzt scheinbar Süßigkeiten.